Mm-hmm.
All right.
Here we go.
Here we go. You're listening to the Why Aren't You Famous podcast with your hosts, Ellen Cherry, that's me, and
Andrew Grimm.
me.
What?
We're hailing you today from
We're hailing them?
Hailing them. Hello.
We're hailing from.
Hailing from.
We're not hailing to them.
We're sending hail.
Hail, yeah.
Hail, yeah.
Yeah, from North Carolina.
We are in North Carolina. We're in Charlotte in a lovely Airbnb.
Yep.
First of all, I want to start out and say thank you to all of our Why Aren't You Famous tour supporters that have gone to GoFundMe.com / WAYFTOUR, or Why Aren't You Famous Tour, and supported us because we could not afford to be sleeping indoors right now.
Nope. Could not.
And so that's one of the things we could start out talking about is just how lucky we are to have had support along the way, because the income that we're actually making from the tour is not going to have been all spent on food, gas, and lodging.
That is correct.
And also how wonderful it is to have done. We did like 170 minutes worth of personal podcasting.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It is a lot of possible.
Took a lot out of us.
It did.
I was worn out. I was starting to think to myself, when is this tour going to be over? I started thinking I got confused as to who the people we were podcasting and how we knew them, and are these people we actually know, and what day is it? Where are we? Why am I doing this?
And speaking of days, this one's going to be a short one because we have to jet to our gig tonight in Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a little piece of pizza. We've been trying to eat healthy, but I don't know. What do you want to talk about today? Because we didn't really have a topic.
We didn't have a topic. It's a free-form show today, and I think
maybe we should talk about money.
Well, we could talk about money if you want. Most of the people listening to this podcast probably already know about our money issues, though.
That's true.
And we've been hammering that home.
I don't think we need to say issues.
Okay, our money concerns.
Yeah. And I drove by the Biltmore Estate on Monday.
That's right. So, did you find any money laying around in the street in front of it?
But here's the interesting thing. On my very first tour in 1998, well, it's interesting to me. Maybe it'll be interesting to somebody else.
I don't think I'm going to find this very interesting. I'm kidding. It's for the most part. I'm just joking.
So, on my first tour in 1998, we had a budget of $3 for lunch and $4 for dinner, and breakfast was on your own. And so we weren't making very much money. We toured for about 3.5 months, 4 months together. Me, Ben, Ryan, and Kate in a little van. This was pre-internet, so we had booked by phone calls and U.S. Postal Service. It was a different time, but we did find ourselves in Asheville for a night. And I remember looking at the cost of the tickets to tour Biltmore, and they were $25 a piece, and we were like, we can't afford $100 for the whole band to go. No way.
No way.
And now it's $65 to go through the house. But anyway, Billy McCracken works there, and he got me a sweet personalized driving tour. So I got to drive around the grounds. It's it used to be 125,000 acres that was in the whole estate. It's huge. So
it's like my house.
It's like my soon house, which is going to be 300 square feet.
300 square feet, yeah. You wouldn't even be it wouldn't even be, it would be
It would be like the whisper of a bee.
Yeah.
It's going to be like living in the Honda Fit. Can you hear? Listeners, can you hear Grim whispering the beginning of the letter B into the microphone?
Going to Ellen Cherry's estate.
So, yeah. Okay, let's not talk about money. Let's talk about our injuries.
Yeah, we have injuries, man.
So I got bit on the face by a dog. And soon after that, not related, a blood vessel in my left eye burst. You just got some kind of weird rash.
Yeah, some sort of rash on my skin.
It's
now my skin's splitting open.
I've had foot problems for maybe a month and a half. Aging.
Mm-hmm.
I just got pizza sauce on my face.
All right. Man, this is one of those ripping, thrilling podcasts.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So this brings up an interesting point. Right now, as we've toured, we haven't had any emergency things that we've had to pay for.
Yeah.
The closest we came to was a parking ticket in Chicago.
Mm-hmm. I almost got a speeding ticket.
And you almost got a speeding ticket. Those are the only kind of emergency things that sort of came close to happening. So
hold on, I'm touching wood.
Yeah.
I'm touching some wood.
and she just put her finger in a socket. You know, well, but it's weird. What's wrong with you?
There's so much wrong with me.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, I've learned a lot on this tour.
One podcast could not cover. What's
Cannot cover
wrong with me.
all that's wrong with Ellen Cherry. Yeah, so
right.
and right, yeah. There's a lot of things that are right about you. We'll have to wait on a podcast for that one because hindsight being like 2020,
2015.
Oh yeah, and I got readers on this tour as well because my eyes have started to fail me in my later years. I can't really see anything past. I can't see anything like from about. Well, I can see it, but it's really blurry. About what was that, half a foot from my face?
Anyway, I'd like to talk about how the internet finally worked for us on Sunday.
Yeah.
Which was so exciting. We met a new friend named Ben, who lives in Asheville.
Mm-hmm.
Is an actor and a musician who spends some time in New York with his band, the
Blue-Eyed
Betties.
Mm-hmm.
And he was super cool, and he just showed up at this house concert that we did on Sunday in Waynesville, that Billy McCracken set up. And it was a lovely evening. We played for like an hour and 15. And we were like, how did you hear about this? And he's like, oh, it showed up in bands in town. And I was like, why aren't you famous? And he's like, I investigated it and the music looked cool. So I came and he drove like, it was 45 minutes.
And I think he had a friend in Baltimore who also recommended.
Oh, cool.
Because he contacted a friend and said, you know anything about these bands? And I'm not saying this because I'm saying, but he had said that she liked June Starr at least. I don't know if he said anything about Ellen Cherry, but that's
okay. I'm fine being second fiddle to you. Second chair fiddle.
Second kombucha.
I am drinking kombucha.
She just yes.
Oh, friends, we went to Whole Foods in Charlotte today, and there was like a gallon of kombucha for $8, and I was just like, I can't pass that up. And I personally paid for it.
I don't think the actual measurement term is gallons. Called a guzzler.
It was a kombucha guzzler.
Yeah. It's a terrible term. Yeah, well, I'll give you one of them, 89-ounce guzzlers. Oh.
So how are you feeling about the tour so far? We have 2 more gigs.
We have 2 more gigs.
Well, we have 2 more gigs on the road.
Right, and then we have a couple days off.
Yeah, I mean, I have a gig right when we get back. You are supposed to go directly into school and teaching, depending on weather, because it looks like we're facing some weather going back into Bmore tomorrow. Yeah. But then, we have our final gig of the tour at the 4-Hour Day Lutherie on March 25th. We've shifted it for anyone who's listening in the Baltimore, D.C. area. We've shifted it to Sunday, March 25th to accommodate for the March for Our Lives that's happening around D.C. and Baltimore. And we just figured the focus should be on that on Saturday, the 24th. And then the focus should return to us on March 25th.
Of course.
So you can go to the 4-Hour Day. I think it's 4hourday.org. Which will show you the address. You can also look it up on Facebook. We're going to do a live recording of the podcast at 6 o'clock, and then we're going to do music and trade songs with our friend from Columbus, Ohio, Matt Monta, who we saw, it seems like a year ago, but it was only 2 weeks ago in Cleveland. So make sure you come out because the show is donations only. Feel free to show up. It'll be great.
Yeah. That'll be cool.
But anyway, to answer my question, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. This is the best tour ever.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a nice thing to say.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the shows have been good for the most part, and we made money. And or at least, I could say that we haven't lost money.
Yeah, we haven't lost a ton of money.
We've broken even to a certain degree, but I'm coming back with more money than I've ever have on any tour.
Yeah, good.
And so that kind of that's given both of us a kind of sense of okay, this is doable in a certain way. But there's a lot of energy that's spent, and I would say it's lopsided because you've spent more time and energy promoting stuff and working things than I have. I've just been kind of I'm just jazzed to be on the show, man. So there is that. But
I have spent a lot of time writing postcards. And promoting the shows every day.
And to be fair, I signed my name to those. So
you did sign your autograph.
You are welcome. Next year, I'm going to get a stamp of my signature, just because I almost cramped it.
That way, I won't even need you there. I can just stamp it myself.
Just stamp it, yeah.
And if I get carpal tunnel from stamping,
you can drop me a note when you're finished with all that.
You did put some stamps on postcards.
I did, and that was touch and go.
Yeah.
It
was hard to get you to focus on that.
It was really, really difficult.
I'm also want to mention that the landscape. It was such no offense to the states of Oklahoma and East Arkansas, but it was really nice to drive into Alabama and start to feel some hills and to see some tall pine trees.
Yeah.
As we returned to the bosom of our friend Keith Harrelson, who used to run the Moonlight Music Cafe, which is now Moonlight on the Mountain in Birmingham, which is a great venue and needs to be supported and kept going because they needed an acoustic live music venue in Birmingham.
Yeah.
And then to drive further east and just to feel the pull of home calling us like a magnet. How do they work? Pulling us towards our homes and just the landscape just getting more hilly. And then we went through I don't know if I'm going to say it correctly, the Nantahala Forest, part of the Cherokee National. Nantahala National Forest, which was beautiful with this rolling river, and people were kayaking, and then there'll be places where there were no people in the river, and you could just really enjoy nature.
It's kind of like if you guys think about like any of our Baltimore friends, if you think about like Wyman Park or Herring Run, it's like pretty like that, except people are kayaking rather than just dumping bodies into the river. 'Cause okay, I'm just kidding, Baltimore. I still love you.
Baltimore. We have been. This is basically what we say to people on the road. I tell people like, Baltimore. It's not like the HBO shows,
Right.
because they're like, whoa, Baltimore, and it's about 50-50. Most people are like, hey, Baltimore, I've been there. It's cool, and I'm like, yeah, it is cool. And then 50% of people who like look at us as if we're like war torn refugees.
Yeah. Well,
And it's not.
it's simply not the truth.
I like telling people that Baltimore is a wonderful place and that they should visit and not believe everything that you see on your TV or the internet.
Right? Just because David Simon wrote about doesn't make it true. I mean, he's making his points, and I like David Simon's stuff. So, David Simon, if you're listening, I do like your work.
I met him once.
Did you?
I did.
I think for some reason I thought I met him, or he was in the same room as me, or something. Like, and he kept saying he's like, is Andrew Grimm going to talk to me? And I was like, no, I'm sorry, David, I can't. I don't have time. I don't have time. And then I went back to serving the other guests.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Right. Did you just look at the time? We've only been on this for 12 minutes.
Oh wow. Well, this is going to be a shorter podcast
true.
because of necessity. And then I think because we were trying to finish 23 podcasts before we return, we're probably going to have to do one tomorrow night after the show on the way home.
Yeah.
And record it like on our phones or something.
Yeah. Well, you have that Zoom recorder we've never used.
Oh yeah. I'm glad I brought that along.
Yeah. That's got a lot of use.
So the 2 pairs of shoes that I couldn't wear because of my foot problem.
Oh yeah, your foot spur.
My foot something.
Whatever you got going on. Well, let's give a shout out to DJ Schmitty.
DJ Smitty.
Smitty.
Yeah.
Sorry.
DJ Smitty, who we didn't travel with a PA because we didn't think we would need one until the gig today, and he has generously loaned us 2 powered speakers. And some speaker stands so that we can amplify ourselves properly for the gig tonight. So shout out to DJ Smitty.
Mm-hmm.
And I will try to post on FaceSpace if he has any websites. You can book him for all your DJ needs in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a really nice guy.
Super nice guy.
These are nice little Yamaha speakers that are powered and they sound really good.
Yeah.
So
that's what a relief.
Yeah.
And also, he said the nicest thing because I had originally contacted him and said, "Can I rent some speakers from you?" Which would be cheaper than going to Sam Ash.
Yeah, which was like
it's gonna be like $200 or something
to
rent.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
And we just need him for like 4 hours basically. And so he said, "You don't have to pay me. This is just helping out people on the road." And that is amazing.
Yeah.
And that we've been encountering that time and time again. People have fed us. People have cared for us, given us hugs.
Nobody's hugged me.
Nobody's hugged you?
There's no hugging. No hugging on this side of the highway, baby.
Oh.
Nobody can tame me.
He's a loner. He's a rebel.
I'm like the wind.
Yeah, you're
free and easy.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I am easy.
Ladies.
Check it out. You're looking at a free lunch.
Free and easy.
Yes, I am.
And wearing plaid shorts.
Oh, yeah.
So we've also been listening to a lot of podcasts, and we've been listening to music on the road.
Mm-hmm.
And what has been your favorite music that you listen to so far? Famous or not famous?
I don't know. Like I had that Traffic mix going. I like that. That was fun.
That was pretty cool.
You know, trying to.
We were stuck in traffic.
The only time we were stuck in traffic too, wasn't it? That was the only time we were stuck in traffic.
Touch wood. Touch it. Touch it right now.
Okay. Touch. Weird. But okay.
Because you're not here. There's I'm not even gonna go there. We were stuck in traffic between Little Rock and West Memphis.
West Memphis, that's what it was.
And we were listening to Lucinda Williams.
That's right.
West Memphis. When she does that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, she does that thing. Like she
was like, that's the way we do it in West Memphis.
West Memphis.
You guys got to listen to that song because it's such a great song about West Memphis and about the West Memphis 3.
Yep.
So, interesting fact that we can talk about on this podcast. I went to college in Arkansas, and I started going to school there. I graduated from high school in 1993. So, I believe that, I can't remember the third guy's name. I think his name is Brian something, but Jesse Miskelly, Damien Eccles, and I can't believe that I can't remember the third kid's name. But they were called the West Memphis 3. They were convicted and were serving life sentences. I think Damien Eccles was actually on death row for most of his sentence for the alleged murder of 3 little boys in West Memphis in the early 90s. And that was all happening when I was in college. And West Memphis is not that far from Conway, where I went to school. It's only about 2.5, 3 hours. So it was kind of like the big deal in Arkansas. And I don't know, it was really interesting. I had never heard that Lucinda Williams song. Mm-hmm. And it's a beautiful song. I really like her stuff.
Well, that was a new song. That was a song from like maybe 3 years ago.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just read a New York Times article about Damien Eccles living with his now wife, because he and the other 2 defendants, accused defendants, took an Alford plea so that they could get out of jail, which is not admitting guilt, but admitting, I don't even know what it means. It means that you just... It
means you got screwed.
You accept the charges and you may not be... Or you accept the guilty plea even though you protest your guilt.
Yeah.
But the point is that they were in jail for...
A long time.
18 years for crimes that they likely did not commit.
Yeah.
Very, very likely did not commit. But Arkansas at that time, and plenty of other states too, not just Arkansas... whole communities were looking at the way people dressed and judging them for the music that they listened to and the way that they dressed. And Damien Eccles looked different. Mm-hmm. And I think that's, from everything I've seen, it seemed like that was the reason why they got prosecuted. However, one of the interesting things is that they had a lot of celebrity and a lot of fame and attention brought to their case. Mm-hmm. So there were people that just never forgot about them. And I think about that, like... We were sitting and watching the news randomly, because I haven't watched that much TV in the last couple of weeks, that Natalie Holloway, the woman who was killed in Aruba, is back in the news, and it's like, she's a pretty white girl, you know, and I wouldn't ever deny her family getting justice for her murder, but it's like, all this attention because of celebrity and fame and whiteness is so, in 2018, it just seems so... obvious to me that we just don't pay attention to the thousands of missing people that are of color and that have crimes committed against them. This has taken a really depressing turn.
Man, you know, I mean, it was like, hey, this is
music,
a fun song.
We're listening to Lucinda Williams.
And then it's like, you know, patriarchy. This is 2018. When are we going to get real? When does this actually stop?
I don't know. And what are we doing with this podcast to help it along?
Right, yeah, how's that helping?
I don't know.
How's that helping our fame? More people are going to listen to like, yeah, these jerks.
I know.
I'm going to listen to these guys. One guy's skin's falling off, the other girl's eye exploded.
God's punishment.
That's right. God's punishment. God's punishing you. So, well, let's see. We do have a song that we're going to play. We're going to feature somebody.
We're going to feature Mary Batiata from Little Pink. Mm-hmm. And she has this great new disc. I can't remember the name of the album. Let's look it up real fast.
The record is called...
The Heart, Regardless.
Regardless, yeah.
So I think it's supposed to be said, The Heart, Regardless.
Yes.
And this song, we are listening to this record, which I think is a beautiful record. Such really great writing. She's always had amazing writing. I've always liked her writing. And her vocal style and her playing, I think, are excellent, high quality, absolutely deserves to be famous. But this song, we were just listening to the record, and I remember turning to you in the car and said, this is the next song we should feature. It's called 7 Stars.
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
1 star for the wheel of wonders, 2 stars for finding you, 3 stars in the hall of mirrors, 4 stars to brave the few, and 5 stars for the way you love me, never holding back, and 6 stars for crazy dreams we wore like party hats. Now 7 stars streak across the ocean. I guess they are bound to shine for someone else. I guess things like that never meant for keeping. They shine so bright and then they disappear. They shine so bright and then they disappear. For the wheel of wonders, 2 stars for reading you, 2, 3 white stars in a field of daisies, 4 stars tattooed blue, and 5 stars for the holy fire that burned down our every night, and 6 stars for silver clouds that never polished bright. 7 stars streak across the ocean. I guess they are bound to shine for someone else. I guess things like that never meant for keeping. They shine so bright and then they disappear. They shine so bright and then they disappear.
All right, that was Mary Battiata and 7 Stars.
From her beautiful album, My Heart, Regardless.
The Heart, regardless. It's My Heart.
Are you sure? Check it again.
Okay.
I thought it was My Heart,
Here
Regardless.
we go.
Oh,
Boom,
it's the heart.
Yeah, that's right. Know what you speak, girl.
Anyway, so we have to get going. This is going to be a super short one because we got to pack up and head downtown Charlotte. What else do we got going on? Tomorrow we're playing Wake Forest at Guitar Town at
the Sugar Magnolia Coffee Wake Forest Listening Room.
Yep, I think it's Sugar Magnolia Cafe.
Sugar Magnolia Cafe, yeah.
And because I was thinking about this while I was swimming laps today, as soon as I get back and the tour is over, I'm going to be posting our episodes on SoundCloud.
On SoundCloud, that's right.
It's just taken a while. There's a lot of moving parts for everything that we're doing, and it's hard to keep track. So it's, again, we thank the WAYF tour supporters. Oh my God, I'm so fried. WAYF tour supporters.
Yes.
Because they have at least alleviated the financial stress of this.
And with all that money coming, the money that's come in that's helped to support us, and then we're coming back with money, which is really great, because now I have to buy a skin graft for my skin that's
Thanks,
peeling off
American
of me.
Healthcare. Probably going to cost
Yeah, it's gonna
$700.
$700,000. Yeah, I'll have to take my house.
God, no. Anyway, we're glad to be on the tour. I shouldn't speak for you. I'm glad to be on
Yes,
the
you
tour.
should. Whatever you do, don't speak for
I am tired but happy, very happy. I do agree that this has been one of the best tours I've ever been on.
Yep.
Relaxed, fun, happy,
me.
good tour partner.
Aw, good,
Yeah.
good tour partners.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we will see you guys later. Well, we'll see you in a little bit because we're going to record a whole other podcast tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we're driving, maybe while we're driving to North Carolina,
Yeah.
we could do a gig debrief.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. That might
Or
be
just
good.
like what's going on in the future and what's
Sure.
happening with the next season, because this is as we wrap up season 1.
Well, we got to start thinking about season 2.
Season 2, because
Yeah.
you and I want to do it some more.
That's right.
Yeah.
Rolling Stone gathers no moss. Right? Isn't that how that goes?
I don't know.
It is.
Is that a B Dylan?
I don't know. I think it's just an old folk saying.
You pulled some of this stuff from that.
Yes, you did. All right.
I'm scratching my chin, that's why my voice sounds like this.
You scratch your chin.
I got something to say!
Jerry Blank shows up.
We've been watching a lot of Strange Candy.
Yeah.
Okay, friends, thank you so much for listening. Hope
Yep.
this brightened your day, and we'll see you.
Yep. Take care.
Bye.
Bye bye.